Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So today, today was action-packed. This morning we started down low, right? And we ended up high. Much higher. Bitcoin pumped above 23,000 once again. But more importantly, altcoins like L1s and dApps, they're all going higher, including some that have pumped over 10%, some even close to 50% like Aptos. So let's talk about what's going on, why everyone is all of a sudden so bullish like me, and will this continue? Let's discuss. Welcome, guys. Let's fix this screen right here. All right, so you can see Bitcoin is at 23,200, much better than this morning. 22.5 this morning when I was streaming, right? People were bearish. I'm like, why are people bearish when we went down like $200, right? And then we pumped up. We had good action. We went above 23.8, right? I think that's a precursor of what's coming. We saw a tremendous pump up, came back down a little bit, but still we're holding relatively well at 23.2. But more importantly, the entire crypto market cap went up in a substantial way, almost 4%. And you're seeing some really good movers today. Right, Cardano up 7%, probably due to DGED coming out. You have Solana up 8%. You're going down the list. I mean, there's a lot. Cosmos, I'm going to talk about a little bit about Cosmos, why they're up 7%. But you look at like Aptos, right, pumping up nearly 50%. ApeCoin 10%. Near Protocol 11%. Powells is up 11%. Today's a good recovery day, really good recovery day. You could say a pump day for some of these altcoins, right? And today is DCA day, so I'm going to do that before I do Q&A. But why is everyone so bullish? Well, there's a couple things that I noticed today. Number one is, and it has really nothing to do with Bitcoin and crypto, but somehow I feel like this event had a lot to do with what we're seeing. And that is Tesla and their record-breaking earnings. I was wrong on this. I thought Tesla would report poorly, but I thought maybe even though they report poorly, investors will just ignore it and focus on Q1, and they're going to go up anyways. Well, I was half right because in the aftermarket, they shot up nearly 6%. But not only that, they destroyed their earnings. They beat revenue and earnings overall, like top end, bottom end, right? Revenue and profits, they beat it. And that somehow like cheered people up. Just a day before, we had Microsoft report good earnings, but gave a gloomy forecast. Tesla did not. Tesla did not give a gloomy forecast. And they ended the year with $22 billion in cash. So they're sitting pretty good. But why this somewhat relates to crypto is they also mentioned that they didn't sell any Bitcoin. They still hold about $200 million worth of Bitcoin, right? So a lot of people were wondering, because Bitcoin started coming down in a big way, right? In Q3, Q4, many people were wondering if Tesla sold. No, they did not sell any. And here's the good news. Here's the good news. Elon still states that he is going to open up Bitcoin payments once again, once he verifies Bitcoin is using at least 50% clean energy. But you know what? We're already doing that. We're already doing that. So can he announce Bitcoin payments in the near future and maybe utilizing that $22 billion to buy some Bitcoin in the future? That's a real possibility. Right? So again, kind of unrelated, but related in a way because in terms of market sentiment, it really changed right after this. I noticed that's when things start really moving. It's just like all eyes are on Tesla. But it's not just about Tesla. The second thing I noticed has to do with what's coming next week, and that is the big FOMC meeting. How much will the fund rate go up by? What will Powell say? Right? Just a few days ago, it was predicted like 40% said that it would be zero increase, and about 60% said 25 basis points. Now, according to CME, It is at 99.7% that I don't know who's predicting this, but I'm sure it's a group of people from the CME group. But whoever these people that are making predictions is predicting it's basically 100% that Powell will raise rates by 0.25%. All right. So if this is reality, then that means the market is going to go up in a big way. That means that 5% projected will probably be cut down to 4.5%, and the remaining 50% could just be thrown out the window. That would be absolutely fantastic. That means the strong economic numbers that we're seeing won't pull markets down anymore. In fact, they should help propel the markets upwards, right? We've been doing this like inverse dance where when we get good economic data, the markets tank because everyone's so afraid of Powell and his rate hikes. But if he once and for all says, okay, we have done enough, we're only going to do 25 basis points this time, and going forward, we're not going to do any more unless we see a reversal or something, and he becomes very dovish, that will be enormous. And I think a lot of people are now starting to realize, this is the time to be buying, right? So it could also be due to this. Or it could just be due to the fact that Bitcoin is starting to come up and people feel FOMO-ish once again with all their stable coins and cash that's sitting on the side, right? They're feeling like, I better not miss out and I better get back in. Could be that too. Could be bad too, right? So look at Bitcoin's performance so far this year. It's been early, but Bitcoin versus Ethereum, it's even outperforming Ethereum at this point, outperforming Tesla, who had a pretty good recovery. And then look at everything else like gold and QQQ. It's like Peter Schiff keeps bragging about how gold is going up, right? 6% versus 38%, big difference there. Bitcoin is definitely leading the pack when it comes to gains for 2023. And of course, the percent supply, last active holders that's been holding for 5+ years, right? Increasing to the moon, 27%, almost 28%. And you can see a big jump, right? Starting from 2022 upwards. And if that continues, I mean, it will, but, again, it goes with supply and demand, right? Supply and demand, and of course here, this is from Crypto Quant. I've never seen this before. Bull bear market cycle indicator, and this is indicating that we're in early bull cycle. Just like the previous times when we have found bottom, and then we start recovering up. Back in 2019, that happened. Back in 2015, that happened. And we're seeing the same situation right now. Pretty good. Pretty good. This morning, my main topic was, can Bitcoin double in 2 weeks? And most people in the chat laughed at it and said, what did you smoke this morning, George? Right? But, hey, look at where we are now, right? Things are moving in the right direction. Can we see a tremendous run in the next 2 weeks? I don't know if it's going to double, but we could certainly see some good gains going forward. All right, now let's talk about some altcoins. So even though Bitcoin went up slightly, but altcoins obviously led the day. So many, and I can't cover all of them, but I'm going to cover a couple. Starting with Cosmos. I've been a big fan of Cosmos for quite some time. It's up about 7 to 8%. Not a huge pump, but finally they're starting to move. And what I found today was, well, first of all, this is what Cosmos looks like. It's a Cosmos of different chains and different projects. Okay. Crypto.com or the Kronos chain, yes, is built with the Cosmos SDK, so they're within the ecosystem. Some of you guys that like AI plays, like Fetch AI, is also within the Cosmos ecosystem. Previously, when things were good, I would tout that Terra was also within the Cosmos ecosystem. And what doesn't show in here is Binance Smart Chain is also part of it, although Binance kind of wanted to keep it separate. But Binance Smart Chain was created with the Cosmos SDK as well. But you could see it's a cosmos of different chains financial dApps, dApps in general, DEXs like Osmosis, right? And you have, a growing ecosystem, right? But today, one of the big ones like Injective, which is its own L1 that's focused on financial dApps, got a huge injection of money, $150 million from Pantera, Jump Crypto, and even KuCoin. Okay, so Injective it is what I said. It's its own L1, but it's really focused on financial dApps that has a lot of interchain communication with other chains. So they got a big funding. So I think that had something to do with it. And as for Injective themselves, they're capable of 25. Oh, that got cut off. But let me remove my camera. They're capable of 25,000 transactions per second. So pretty darn quick. And you could see they shot up almost 30% today because of this. But because this is in the Cosmos ecosystem, I do believe this is what caused some excitement for Cosmos. But like I said, if you're into AI, Fetch AI is in this. If you're into DEXs, Osmosis is also in the Cosmos ecosystem. So there's just a lot of things going on in the Cosmos ecosystem. And this also shows the monthly developments, right? The number of developers. If you could actually read this is kind of hard to see, but under Ethereum, even though Ethereum is leading by a lot, and I don't know how accurate this is because this is supposed to be tracking developers on a monthly scale. Like, I don't know why developers would leave from one month to another, but if you can read this correctly, Cosmos is actually the second biggest, right behind Ethereum, and everyone else trails. So obviously big development base. That's fantastic. Right, so that's what happened, I believe, with Cosmos. Now, the other one that a lot of people have been asking about and been trying to hype up is Aptos. And I've been talking about it. I'm like, I've never been a big fan of it, right? Because they were invested by FTX, created by Facebook guys, right? And they were very hyped up. But recently, there's no doubt they've been coming up in a big way. So now they are at, where are they at? They're at $3 billion. They jumped up 400% in the last 30 days. There's definitely a lot of whale buying, maybe whale manipulation, and definitely a lot of FOMO. And they're still heading up right now as I'm talking, almost 50% at this point, right? So they are jumping. What happened with Aptos today? Well, the biggest thing that happened is this. They have their own name service, and they are now making it open source. That's what I found. A lot of projects have their own name service, right? Ethereum has ENS, and others have their own as well. I believe Cardano has their own name service, right? So I don't know if this really explains it, but today or yesterday, close enough. Yesterday, today, they made their name service open source. Also, they are having a big meetup right now. They're planning on meeting in Taipei from Taiwan. I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but this was also announced. Maybe this caused some commotion, right? But also, they have their own Pantera wallet, right? So they do have their own wallet. They have a fiat on-ramp in partnership with MoonPay. This was announced months ago, but they're early. They're very early. They're still growing, right? But this is what I found. I didn't find anything else that explained a 50% jump. But I think it's just a matter of now, just a lot of people are FOMOing in, right? Now, the basis of Aptos is when they first came out, it was labeled a Solana killer. It was created by ex-Facebook guys that was working on a DEM project, and obviously once Facebook killed the project, they decided to go off on their own. So it's a highly scalable proof-of-work chain, very well backed by several large VCs, and they're still trying to figure it out and trying to grow. And obviously, right now they are moving up. And I did promise that I was going to do a deeper dive into them because I still want to make sure I'm not missing out on anything else. But that's kind of the gist of it. So yeah. But outside of Cosmos and Aptos today, there's just a lot of movers, right? I think just a lot of people are very excited. It's about time. we were down for so long. People's been DCAing for quite some time, and now you're finally starting to see that DCA works, and you're recovering some, and people overall are just very, very excited about it. So, yeah, that's what I wanted to cover today. Today is DCA day for me, so I came prepared, and I started looking at it already. But right now, overall, since the beginning to now, right, it's been about a year and a half. Now we're down to about 33%, right? This is an impressive jump considering last week we were at like 40%. The week before that was like 50%, right? So you could see clearly in 1 week's time, it jumped up about 12%. In 1 month's time, it jumped up 47%, right? This is why you DCA on a schedule. You just take the guessing out of it. And even though right now, this is still down at about 32, 33%. But as we climb higher, this is going to recover faster and faster and faster until it turns green again. And then we'll be on our way to some new highs, right? But as for this week, I actually didn't think about it. I was just prepared to bring this up. I actually didn't think about what I wanted to add. For the most part, everything is in the green. ApeCoin is up, though I'm a little light in that. Avalanche, Cadena, a lot of people are big fans of Cadena. Near Protocol up in a big way. I mean, everything's in the green except Ecomi is down today. I'm not sure why they are down today. Right now I would say DEXs, L1s, L2s, some AI plays, right? Last week, I think I added a little fetch AI last week. This week I'm going to stick with the L1s. What am I lightweight on? I think near, I'm pretty lightweight. So I'm going to add a little near and maybe Phantom. Phantom has also been doing very well. I think that I'm going to do that. I'm going to add Near and Phantom this week. Go DC a little more. I haven't touched Near all that much, but they're also dubbed as a Solana killer. They're kind of like a mini Solana. So they have potential. They tend to move up and down really quickly. So I'm just going to do $50 into Near. And then add in a little Phantom. I think last week I just added Bitcoin, and there's nothing wrong with that. All right, so this way I have Phantom and Near. We'll see. A lot of L2s also. I forgot to mention a lot of L2s. Obviously have gone up as well. I've noticed that like Optimism actually has been moving pretty well. So maybe I could add them in the future. Maybe add a little Aptos if they cool down, but they're definitely very, very overheated right now. But like I said, I will continue to do this with you guys until this turns green. Prove to you guys that DCA works. And I'm glad to hear a lot of people start talking about how recently they became whole coiners, or they're a lot closer, or they are in the green. And obviously, that's fantastic to hear. All right, let's do some Q&A. All right, let's see here. All Disc Golf is asking, do you think Project Stacks is promising? Bring DeFi, NFTs, etc. to Bitcoin? I think so, but I just feel like it's really behind. We have all these dApps that's already operational on Ethereum and others, right? So I think Stacks is okay, but I don't know. I just think there's better plays out there. All right, let me scroll up here. Let me see. Make sure I didn't miss anything. I was thinking about bringing Mr. Walker with me tonight, but still a little premature. I think if the market goes up, if we crack through to 24, 25, maybe then Mr. Walker would make an appearance. Zach Zatare, yeah, I'm sorry, I did not follow you on Twitter, but I'm glad you noticed that, because there's just a lot of bots and impersonators still on Twitter. But anyways, I appreciate your support, and I'm glad that you applied on the next crypto gem. Why is Cardano coming out USDA when DJ is coming soon? Well, it's okay. DJ is coming out is being produced by Cody, which they have a strong tie with Cardano, but they are not Cardano. They're not IOHK or Emergo. USDA is being developed by Emergo, which is one of the main development companies for Cardano. So it's just competition. Yeah, no more love for Harmony. I've already said that many times. I'm neutral on them. Is it true that Black Label tastes better than Blue Label? That is absolutely not true, Malt. Absolutely false. False statement. Will there be an audience for next crypto jam? I'm not sure. The whole thing is exciting, but daunting also, right? Because filming for a TV show is very different than what I'm doing now, right? I don't know if you have to prepare your jokes or your quips, or I don't know, rebuttals. I don't know what's gonna happen there. I don't know how I'm gonna dress. Should I just dress how I normally dress? Just t-shirt, jeans, or should I dress, business casual, or maybe, I don't know, put on a Gucci tracksuit or something, just for show. I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah, the blue label lunar specials. I saw that they're going for the same price, about $200. I saw it at Costco the other day. I was gonna buy it, but I haven't been drinking much, so I was thinking it might be a waste, but I should buy it just to have it. Shafia, I've been calling around all these Chevy dealerships, and so far I've not found one that doesn't mark up. Every single one marks up, and they get me more and more pissed. There's one that doesn't have a markup, but they keep saying, "Oh, we're taking highest bidder." I'm like, no thanks. And then the guy keeps texting me like, "Well, this is your last chance," and blah blah. I'm like, if you have so much interest, stop bothering me, right? And then I told him, I'm like, "Hey, GM warned all you guys not to be gouging customers, and every customer you gouge, you lose one forever." And then he stopped texting me after that. Mina, I saw jump just like all the L1s. I think people are diving into L1s. I've always said I like L1s, L2s way more than anything else in the space, because it's the foundation. It's the operating system for all dApps. right? And I think people realize that. A lot of L1s, L2s fell down dramatically, over 90% from its previous highs. So even though we're having a good pump, a good recovery, you know, most of these projects have to go up 10x just to get back to their previous highs. Think about it, right? So whatever you accumulated times 10, that's 1,000% just to get back to the previous high. Now imagine when we break through previous highs and we go up another 100, 200%, 300, 500%, another 1,000%. How exciting is that? Ranger 420. Hey, I appreciate it. So my Twitter is absolutely, my Twitch, I should say, is absolutely dead. So you're using your Twitch to watch my stream. Hopefully you're getting more than 14 viewers. That's all I'm getting right now. What do you think about Bifrost? Don't know too much about it, Ray. Some Costco has Blue Label for 180. Some has it for 200. It's weird how they have a difference in price, and not everyone has the Blue Label Lunar edition. Morpheus Network, I covered them before. They're kind of like a mini V chain. They're in supply chain. They seem to be big in some areas. They're okay. I definitely like V chain much better. There was a $2 super chat asking which newcomers to crypto buy Bitcoin alt. It's always Bitcoin. You don't need to ask that. That's not a question that should be asked. Anyone that's coming into space should just go with Bitcoin. Have I seen that $6,500 bottle? No. I saw some $600 bottle. I forgot what it was. I saw someone kept recommending Don Julio 1942. I see that's at Costco. Limit one per customer. It's like $170. I saw this other Costco I was at had something that was like $600, but not $6,500. Teresa, congratulations, and again, appreciate your support, and yes, HODL, DCA, that's how you win. Thoughts on Cybertruck? I mean, I have one on order, but I'm not very hopeful that I'm going to get it anytime soon. Probably 2024. They say they're going to start producing a second half of 2023. I don't know about that. And I'm not sure if I want the very first ones, because Tesla is like, whenever they release very first edition of something new, tends to have a lot of quality control issues, right? So I don't know. DG, coin tracking, coin tracker, Coinly, they're all pretty good. If you are worried about crypto taxes, generally speaking, more like around March, April is when people care about it. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of CRO, Kronos. Created by Crypto.com. They have a few dApps on there, like DeFi projects, but you know, I don't hear a lot about. I don't hear a lot about them or a lot about new dApps coming aboard. And plus, Crypto.com themselves is struggling a little bit. Had to lay off 20 or 30% of their staff recently. I'm sure they'll come back, but yeah, they had a hard 2022. Constant Simmer, I have a feeling that Voyager thing will get resolved. You'll probably end up seeing some of your assets on Binance.us. I've been getting emails and letters. They're voting on it or whatever. So eventually Binance.us will take over and some of the assets will be there. I don't know how much though. What percentage? Brett, happy Australia Day. I didn't know that was a thing. 18 viewers on Twitch, yay. It's just so damn hard to get viewers on Twitch. I mean, well, like I said, if Bitcoin hits 25K by the end of this month, I'll stream a Fortnite stream. Maybe that'll get some viewers. Is it contagion in? Any fears? No. I think the only thing that could happen, but I still think it's a very small chance, is DCG goes under. DCG could go under because it's pulled down by Genesis, but I don't think that's actually going to happen because Genesis will claim bankruptcy. DCGs go sell off some assets. They're trying to sell off CoinDesk right now. Also another exchange I think they have called Juno. I think they're selling those two off. They have other assets too. I think DCG will be fine. But we'll see. But even if they go under, when Genesis announced their bankruptcy, Bitcoin didn't flinch at all. So I think it's already priced in. Do you think Arbitrum will go hard in upcoming years? I mean, L2s will do well until Ethereum finally can scale. And it won't be able to do that for many, many, many years. Right? Ethereum still has their Shanghai upgrade that's coming up in March, but that's not going to solve their scalability issues. That will just unlock tokens. And then I don't know how many years it's going to take for them to truly scale. So while that's being developed, layer 2s will continue to get stronger. Flash Gordon, I turned off the commercials on Twitch to try to incentivize people. But has not happened. Mike, I appreciate that about SPF Adventures, but I don't think I will continue. Just not enough interest. Need a lot more interest. Too many serious people that didn't want to watch it. Bazooka, I think you're here just to spread FUD. Rising rates is actually not... It's something I just talked about. It's something that the market has already priced in will start decreasing and possibly stop altogether. So, yeah, not a real contagion to consider. Now, Ukraine war worsening and credit default defaulting credit, maybe, but the economic data in the U.S. is still quite strong. We're still seeing labor force extremely strong, wages rising, unemployment not going up at all. So don't try to scare yourself out of the market, because I heard you type the very same thing this morning. I pay attention. I read every single thing. I might not answer everyone, but I pay attention. And people that like to spread FUD usually are the ones, not to single you out, are the ones that are sitting on the sidelines, worried, and trying to spread that worry to others. Sometimes it's legitimate, I know, but right now we have a lot of good things happening. We saw some very, very bad times in 2022, and we're simply coming up from the bottom. Did I get my Tesla yet? Which Tesla are you talking about? Not the Cybertruck. The Bears' last hope is XRP losing in case. You know what? I would give you that. I think that's it. I think that could be a big blow. Probably not for Bitcoin, but for a lot of alts, yeah, that could be. Crypto 4 is sitting in my garage covered up. When I took delivery, Bitcoin is like at 16,000, so I felt like it was not a good time to be showing it off. So as we head higher, as things improve, I'll eventually show it you guys. Do a full review on it on my drivers only channel. Are you still doing carnivore? No, I switched to like keto, although I cheated quite a lot for the, for the holiday, but trying to get back on track. Mostly I'm still doing pretty good. Little snack here or there. Brooke, appreciate it. Why do I still have trust in Solana after all it's been through? I mean, it had a lot of FUD towards it because of the FTX thing. Even though that was not their fault, right? They still have to worry about their network outages. They still have network outages all the time. I forgot how many they had in 2022. It was like a dozen or so. So they, that's something that totally said that he's going to work on, is to get rid of it once and for all. But he's been saying that for many years. So if they could get that patched up, right, separated themselves completely from FTX, Alameda does still hold a large amount of Solana tokens. But if they could move past that, then they'll recover nicely, just like everything else. I have a hack for ChatGPT to be unfiltered and honest in its response. It's amazing how much control there is. It's heavily controlled on controversial questions. Cornish crypto. I've seen videos like that. Like if you ask it a question and you ask it to interpret it as something or someone or something, then you could get around a lot of those filters. I don't know. If you say it's true, I believe it. Now make it useful and try to figure out how to make some money with it. Dark Star, it doesn't matter what the poll says about SBF Ventures. It comes down to the views. I'm not animating that stuff myself, right? So I have to pay someone to do it. If I don't get enough views, then there's no point, right? And the last one did pretty badly. I honestly thought it would do really well. Really well. I thought people would enjoy it. Something silly, fun. Everyone hates on SBF, right? But instead, I have so many people in the chat saying, "Oh, I don't want to watch it. I purposely skipped it. I don't have time for cartoons. I don't have a sense of humor." You know, after seeing so many people say that, I'm like, all right, enough of that. I'm not gonna waste any time or money on it anymore. Patrick, take care. All right. All right, guys. Let's call it a night. So today, Bitcoin came back up above 23,000. That's great. Entire crypto market cap came up in a big way. We got some big movers. This could just be the beginning. So we'll see. Tomorrow, tune in 8:30 a.m. and we'll see what the market brings. All right. Have a good night, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.